Imagine your dad being in that position where like he can't do anything because
honestly, yeah, I'm wilding out. I don't give a I'm knocking heads. I'm up. Woo!
This story is sad because it's still going on. Everybody loves squatters, right? We all like squatters' rights and love that squatters are hard to kick out of houses. It's really fun. Everybody wins because of this law.
Got loopholes.
Yeah. So here's what happened. There's a 76-year-old man who's been living in his Colorado house for 50 years. And while he was out walking, he noticed that there's a woman who was living out of her car. This homeless woman offered to do some household chores for him. So he said yes, because he's a 76-year-old guy. He's also suffering from like mild dementia at this stage. So then he agrees to it. And then the requests and favors start getting a little bit stretched out. Next thing you know, she starts using the shower every now and then and starts sleeping in his guest room certain nights. Next thing you know, she's moved 2 non-working automobiles into his driveway. She's brought in her 15-year-old son to live in the house, her boyfriend and her cat. The boyfriend is always threatening the elderly guy whenever he's asking him like what he's doing there or if he's gonna move out. So it's hard to get rid of him. And then that boyfriend I think is like into some illegal shit because he's got people coming around the house looking for him, like in bad ways. So it's starting trouble for the elderly guy. And then the squatters start setting up a mushroom growing operation inside the house. And there's underage drug use and guns always present. The elderly dude is stuck in this house because he's living off of Social Security, which is just enough for him to get by his own. And he can't afford the legal procedure in order to get the squatters out. So people ask, has he called the cops? Yes, he has. Every time the cops come, they'll maybe come up to 24 hours later from the call. And when they do show up, the squatters just say that they're the ones that live there and that when the cop asks for permission to enter, they just say, no, you don't have permission to enter. And then it ends right there.
Yep.
They just can't do anything. So,
especially if they already have stuff in the house.
Exactly.
That's the key.
Yeah. A big feature with why they also can't do anything is that the original person that came into the house, which is that one homeless lady, was actually invited in by that guy. So because of that means they have to get a court order to get these people out. The old dude can't afford to do all that. And right now, his daughters have set up a GoFundMe in order for him to pay the legal expenses to get these people out. Yeah, it's really...
Why does it have to go through legals though? Like, it's just...
Same with here.
It's just, it's a shitty situation.
It just really sucks.
And squatters are targeting people like this.
Yeah. I think it's sad because he was trying to do like a nice thing. It's like, it sucks that like you give an inch, people take a mile, or like it just kept getting worse. Like everything you said was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
It kind of shows you that that's kind of their MO. Like that's their career, is to just constantly get in houses and then bring in everybody and continue whatever illegal shit they're doing. It just sucks to imagine being in that position, or imagine your dad being in that position where like he can't do anything because
honestly, yeah, I'm wilding out. I don't give a fuck. I'm knocking heads. I'm fuck shit up.
Almost because of this law though, there's almost no way to get away with that.
Yeah.
But if you can prove that those people are not living in the house, you can like kick them out and be like, hey, they're in my house, but they're a burden.
But you have to prove it in court. You can't prove it face to face.
Oh, freaking America.
Nope.
That's crazy. I would just move in and just be the worst
just American.
roommate. Like I would move in if
That's what they typically do.
Like, that's
like,
one way to do it.
Scenarios like that.
Asian Andie did that with his situation. He had a squatter that wouldn't leave, and he just tried to. What?
Did she finally leave?
I don't remember what exactly happened, but he just made her life hell and just kept like pestering her, blaring noises, doing everything he could. Yeah, I think eventually they did figure that out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nah, I'll go to jail though.
I'd be willing to go to jail.
I'm going to jail.
But what if you're...
The only way to do it is to just become like a horrible roommate in return. You know what I mean? Like, cause like what else can you do? Like that's not
within the legal parameters. Like, that's the only way.
You just be like put a bunch of stink bombs over.
Yeah, there's this other guy that I watched. It was like this weird loophole for him because it was his mother's house, and squatters ended up taking over that house. So he ended up having to squat the squatters and reverse the
is
like
this
the
white guy?
loophole. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
And
really
then
impressive.
he's now has like a business helping
Yeah.
people get out of that.
You can hire him to help you.
Yeah, hopefully this
Yeah.
guy can get in contact with this
Yeah,
guy.
that would be really
And
cool. Yeah, he's like an expert squatter exterminator.
because of that situation, he's you know.
Do maybe this is like I don't know, like is this an American thing or is this everywhere?
I think it's an American thing mostly.
I think it's-
They have weird laws like that.
I think California's the worst. for
Yeah.
sure.
In the Netherlands, that's probably not possible. If you're still living in the house and you have proof you live there, then and you're like certain, like, hey, police, this is a man that's not living in my house. I can prove it. Then that man is getting arrested.
Yeah, that's how the logic seems. Here, it's like if what they would say or what they would do is print out a fake lease agreement and say, I live here because this person let me and they rented me space and look at this.
Also, there's a
Yeah.
legality of X amount of
Stupid.
time that you've occupied a space
Yeah.
now dictates that you've lived here.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Regardless of you having a contract or a lease that's actually viable.
Yeah.
So that's the shitty part too.
It's even weirder.
so
where
backwards.
There's another weirder. I don't know exactly the word for word definition of this law, but there's a squatter law where like if let's say you've squatted in an empty house for like some number of years, it can become your house. If it's uncontested and you pay the back taxes.
So we could get a house nowadays.
Yeah, but I don't think anybody's ever done that because you have to have a lot of money to do that.
Yeah, also that too.
Everything I hear about this is always like everyone I know is kind of on the same page of like, this seems wrong, you know? It's like, what is the other side? Like, what would someone from the squatter's perspective like say to be like, no, this is why we can do this and why we have
I don't know
rights,
what the
you know?
justice side of it really is,
For
other
them?
than
Yeah, like what would what would their point of view be?
Well, if they have families, their thing is it's a survival situation.
yeah, it's like a gypsy mentality.
Yeah, you're gonna do everything you possibly can, regardless.
Yeah.
Fucking gypsies.
But I
Fight or
guess
flight.
like the thing it's supposed to protect is like if you were telling the truth. If someone did rent you space in the house and then they just want you out, they just can't do that to you. And I think part of like this is my crackpot theory, but I think the reason why certain states like this is it's not their problem because they're not on the street. So they're more concerned that there's a person that's on the street than a person in a house, and they're like, well, if that guy's indoors, that's less of an issue.
It just causes so many other problems.
It's just your drama, and they're like, oh, you handle your drama. Yeah,
Man.
it almost washes their hands of the incident where they're like, that's on you, dude.
Yeah.
But aren't they figuring that stuff out now? They actually have a new law for it.
I think they're moving that direction,
Yeah.
but I don't know if it'll stick or what'll be the end result. Because it's like, you would think this isn't a new nuisance, so why didn't they have this taken care of like a long time ago? Because people been having this problem forever. We're not different in this generation. We also hate it.
Real estate.
I think also with like social media, like people can like post their personal stories and like it's more like you're able to like advocate for it like on your own accord more than like if you were back in the day just able to like say it. It's kind of like at large is like a bigger it has more airtime of other people agreeing and be like, yeah, see, this is wrong or
Feel like
whatever.
it's happening all the time.
Yeah,
that's
versus
true.
like if there was no like, because the news is not necessarily gonna cover that, you know, for people to feel some type of way about. So I
Right,
think
that might
because,
not
like
be
you said,
in
it's like
today's
your
feel.
drama, that like our phones or whatever can like kind of like get that message out, so it feels a little more like, you know, unanimous.
Right. I've never met one person that sees the logic in working the other way, though. I don't really.
I would love to know what their thoughts are. Like maybe like you said, like survival, because like I think like are they just misunderstood? Like I don't know. Like you know, like there's gotta be.
No, I think there are
some-
people who are just in really shitty positions and
Yeah.
have made poor choices for the most part, and they have decided to take advantage of people.
Yeah, for sure.
For either themselves or for their family.
Yeah.
If they have that situation, which, you know, when you look at it from that perspective, it's like, yeah, you would do anything for your kids, but
That's like
it's a shitty situation.
Shitty way of doing
Plus,
it.
it's like if
Yeah.
that was happening to your dad or something, he wouldn't want you to go to jail over it. That's more problems.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Right, that's very true.
I told a story on here about my ex's dad. He went to jail for doing this exact thing when a squatter took over one of their properties, and I guess he had gotten in a fight with a guy. And when he came in, he finally made his way into the house. He saw that there were dirty diapers everywhere that the guy just like threw, the squatter. So then I think he beat the guy's ass. And when the dude was laying down, he made him eat the diaper. and went to jail for that. Exact, like, that's on his record.
That's crazy.
Feces shoved in his mouth.
They didn't go easy on him either because he was the owner or nothing. They literally, and he's like an important guy in his community. This dude was like a head sales at Oracle, like a major corporation. No, he got no breaks. They were just like, you did this? All right, you go in jail.
How did they prove he did it though?
He didn't deny he did it. Literally just did it. Yeah.
He wasn't like, oh, I didn't do it.
Yeah, no, he did the thing that we all say on a hip fire reaction of, oh, beat his ass. He did exactly that, and it didn't go well for him. So it's not one of those things where like, even if it feels good to do, that the problems it gave him down the line cost more. Yeah, it cost more than.
Sometimes it's like it's not worth it to stand on business. Like sometimes you just gotta
Staying on business is not a great idea.
Stay on business, but do it strategically.
Sometimes,
I don't know. I kind of like staying on business.
Enjoy jail.
It's hard when you got a kid. When you got a kid, you gotta tactically
Think about it
stand on business differently. Yeah. No, you can't do nothing that'll take you away from your family. First of all, doesn't matter what it is.
Yeah.
He's like, not convinced.
What is it like though? Just stomp on the fucking head. Just like, what are you? You feel this pain? Like,
Just beat his ass enough, you know?
You're gonna have to feel it symbolically, dude.